rights, and then came the women's movement and the anti-war movement. So all of these come on the heels of us at first fighting and rioting or whatever we do.
But doesn't those things then water down the initial purpose of what it was started for?
I don't think it's going to water it down. Do you think it will? Why do you think it would water it down?
Okay.
I think it might add some clarity or some... Because it's not just a fight about police, and it's not just a racial issue. Because, here Giuliani says, well, if we didn't have the cops coming into your neighborhood so much. But why would the cops be coming in my neighborhood if my neighborhood, wasn't economically depressed? Why would there be so much crime? And crime comes along with economic strife and worry, yes?
But the fight is about the police. It's about the behavior of the police.
It's about the behavior of the police, but I guess others are able to make a connection between the behavior of the police and, just general oppression that there is. I think maybe a lot of these Occupy-type people step forward, people who can see the connections between, because, we look at it as a fight between the police or having to do with race, but, while we're out here fighting, to breathe, the Senate and the House are passing these laws that are killing all of us. So how does that get brought up? And do you take advantage of the time while you have the media attention to bring up the fight that all of us have to endure?
But I think what happens is that the small percentage, the 10% of the police officers that maybe may have skewed the way they see people of color, have somehow branded the police force as being against black males of color by their behavior and their attitudes, in that when you see the way they treat these black males as opposed to the way they treat another individual or a white person, and the question has come up. There was and I think I played this on Friday. Notre Dame is introducing a class called white privilege. And a lot of people on campus were very upset because of that class. And because I think when you hear the word white privilege, people believe is that for some reason you want to denigrate people, white people, and say, oh, you did this and you did that and you did the other. And that wasn't the purpose of the class. The purpose of the class was just to bring clarity as far as certain things that doesn't affect that community, that affects the black community.
Okay.
In that if you walk into Macy's as a black person, it's highly likely, in a black male, it's highly likely you may be followed, as opposed to a white person who will not be followed.
Okay.
If you are driving on the New Jersey Turnpike, as has been demonstrated, and you are black, there's a great possibility you will be pulled over, right? More than a white person who is driving and maybe doing the same speed limit as you are, or going over the speed limit.
Okay.
All right. And it goes on. And if the police stop you and you are white, they treat you differently than if you're a person of color. See, so when you look at it, there's a concern that the police deals with the black community totally different than they deal with.
No, but somewhere in there you were saying a small percentage of the police? Or
10%, yeah. But that 10% makes it bad for the 90%. Because you don't hear, these things are coming, it becomes more, when you see a small percentage doing something, but it becomes a big deal because it's happening over and over and over.
Well, that's what they say about us then. So only...
What do they say about us?
Well, the image is that black males commit a lot of crimes, and so disproportionately people believe when they see a black male, due to the media or whatever other reasons they have, that you're going to be automatically a criminal. So you're going to take the attributes of one situation and make it applicable to everything else. And so you're saying that a small percentage of police has tainted all police, the same way that they say a small number or a number of black males has tainted the image of all black males. Yes? Because there's a perception that black men commit crimes. But is the perception the reality? So I was reading an article, which, I'd have to dig up while you're talking.
The perception is not the reality.
No. So, and you're saying the perception is not the reality with the police. But I think
the perception is the reality. But
you're saying it's a small percentage. So when a cop comes over, do you give him the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, he's probably not a racist cop? Or do you automatically assume that he's a cop that's going to come after you?
I'm scared. From them out, because I don't know what's going to happen.
Is your fear rational?
Yes, it is.
Have you been mistreated by the police?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, so
you've been mistreated by the police.
What do you call mistreated?
Stopped, frisked, ticketed.
I haven't been. No. I haven't been stopped or frisked or taken in.
Okay. Have you been ticketed by the police for no reason?
Yeah. I was pulled over.
You weren't doing anything.
Yeah, I was just pulled over because of the car I was driving.
Well, you shouldn't have been driving that, BMW or, Aston Martin or whatever.
Yeah, Aston Martin. Maybe a Billy Martin. Not
Ford F-150. I don't know.
I was driving a Billy Martin, not an Aston Martin. So you see that.
No, but you were ticketed by the police.
Yeah, I was ticketed.
Okay. And you weren't doing anything?
Nah. But they made something up on it. They gave me a ticket.
Did you fight?
Sure, no. Okay. I'm going to pay attorney $500 to go fight it.
Is fighting driving while black.
Yeah. You know what it is? I go to court. And I pleaded down and, they gave me 0 points in my license and I paid $200 plus a $250 court fee and they take $500 out my pocket. That's what they do. Because you got to pay a $250 or $275 court fee. And
what if you didn't have that?
What if I didn't have it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's the next step because a lot of people don't have it. And when you don't have it and you can't pay the tickets, then you lose your license and you still have to drive.
I guess you paid in installments.
They give you up until a time. We were talking about that you get up to a time, especially in New Jersey, even for parking tickets. And if you don't pay them, they'll just increase and then they'll find you. And the next thing you'll be on probation. And when you get stopped, you will go to jail for parking tickets. And so now they have private agencies seeking to force you to pay your tickets and the fines on top of them. And if you do not pay, you're paying the agency for monitoring yourself. You're paying them $35, $40 a month for this probation. And so the fee just mounts, you're paid $35 on top of whatever installment, and you never get out of that debt. And then they have the right to haul you in and put you in jail for that.
So we talked about this course at Notre Dame, right?
Yes.
So it's let me get this. It's this a white privilege course creates controversy at Notre Dame. All right. Now, why would something like that create controversy? What do you think?
Well, because, why would anybody want to admit that they're privileged? And that's not, after going through the whole idea of affirmative action and to give black people a break, and then...
What? Affirmative action to give black people a break?
That is supposedly to make up for wrongs that have been committed.
The way you say it is like, man.
I am giving you a break.
No, you're not giving me a break.
I'm not saying I'm breaking the rules, but it is,
you're not giving me a break.
Rather than exercise
for all my suffering and oppression. You ain't giving me no break.
You ain't suffered nothing. You came from Trinidad. Why are you benefiting from it?
Well,
Why are you benefit? Why is it an African benefit? Why not just regular black American Negro colored person like myself?
So all of a sudden you want to you want to be like Willie Lynch now?
No,
you want to separate the Negroids, right?
You're gonna bring your behind over here and then take advantage of something.
You want to impose that Willie Lynch statics, huh? Separate the American blacks from the Caribbean blacks. The African blacks from the American.
You separate when it is of your benefit. So it's only the only rational thing to do.
So you wanna separate them, right? So let's see if we can listen to this. This is the white privilege course creates controversy at Notre Dame, and then we're gonna read you the article.
Where are you looking at?
Let's see if we can. This is actually a news. This is WSBT.
Okay, that's the one I'm at.
Yeah, it's a local news station, and
WSBT 22.
Yeah, it's a local news station. First, fast, and accurate. So let's listen to what they have to say about this white privilege controversy here.
Well, it certainly is a tough topic, but one that is taking center stage nationally and locally.
We're talking about race relations, and Notre Dame is getting national attention, all because of a new class. Now, WSBT 22's Zach Crenshaw shows us why students and professors are standing their ground. Zach.
The class is about white privilege. Only 10 students can take it. It lasts 6 weeks, and it's got a lot of people talking. It's got everyone talking, from Notre Dame students to Bill O'Reilly.
Now, the University of Notre Dame will actually offer a course on white privilege in the spring.
Senior Mark Gianfalo went on Fox News to voice his opposition to a new class about white privilege.
Doesn't seem like it's, offering a wide array of opinions. And that's really the problem, right? It's a white privilege seminar. It's not a social stratification course. It's not exploring privilege in any sense or every sense.
Mark says the class attacks Caucasians and isn't objective.
It seems to be a course that really indoctrinates students, not educates them, which is what a university system is for.
But it's clearly not for everybody.
Sociology chair Rory McVeigh approved the class and says it's what higher education is all about.
I really worry about a situation where, ideas can't be expressed in the university and where students can't get together and engage in academic literature and talk about issues that are so important.
When I talked with students, it was clear many of them had heard about the class and seen the clip on Fox News. But the opinions varied on whether or not the course actually belongs at Notre Dame.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, a college is a place to explore different types of knowledge, and if someone wants to learn about that they should be able to.
I think it's just an interesting time for the university to pick to have this class. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I'm sure they thought it through.
Mark says his goal isn't to get the class canceled.
The key is just to spark conversation and really wonder why the university is doing this and to make people aware that the university is doing this.
And people are definitely more aware.
I don't think that the guy who made it on Fox News actually understands what the aim of that course was. I don't know. I think that the outcry is uncalled for, frankly, until people understand both sides of the situation.
Now, as I mentioned, the class will only take 10 students, and it culminates with them going to a white privilege conference in Kentucky. The goal of the course, according to its description, is for students to leave the class more aware of injustices and better equipped to disrupt systems of oppression. In the studio, Zach Crenshaw, WSBT 22 News.
So what do you think?
Well, I know for a fact that this white privilege conference has been going on for a long time. So this is nothing new. The first time I saw that a slogan, it said "Got Privilege?" question mark. Like got milk, but it looked like got privilege in black with white letters. And I was in Vermont, and we ended up going to the other side. We were in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and then went over to Vermont for a couple of hours, and it was there. I learned that they had conferences like that. So it's an old concept. So for, them to come up with a class on it doesn't seem like, if you've got a whole conference on it, this conference has been existing for a while. So this had to be like 2007 or something when I learned about it.
Should we
Maybe
play
before that?
Should we play Tim Wise on white
Well,
privilege?
I don't know. Do you think are there things that white people privileges that they have that you don't have, Anselm?
I just told you.
You agree with that, though?
You don't agree with that? I could if you walk into a store there's a great possibility that, oh, let me ask you a question. Pulling over a cab in New York.